iHeart Podcasts. Hear more Gold 101.7 podcasts,
playlists, and listen live on the free iHeart app.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation. Well, she's the Emmy Award-winning, Tony Award-nominated comedy legend, actor, political powerhouse. She's almost run more marathons than we've done breakfast shows, and she still looks fab in the heels. We're, of course, talking about the always dazzling Suzy Eddie Izzard. She's bringing her sellout one-person show, The Tragedy of Hamlet, to Australia next year. But before that, she's joining us right here, right now on the Zoom. Suzy, hi.
Hi. Yeah, so thank you for saying I'm very well known for comedy, but drama as well, I must say, is the thing that I have pushed for. When I was 7, I just wanted to be an actor. I didn't know they had a separation. And then I realized you could concentrate on comedy, and I wasn't getting the roles at school. So I developed this comedy career. Then I thought, no, I'm getting a separate agent. I have separate agents for drama and comedy, which is unusual. I think
Really?
I think you would say if you tracked ages. No one tracks ages like that. But anyway, that's it. So this is The Tragedy of Hamlet, about a family tearing itself apart, a country tearing itself apart. Some people come thinking it's comedy. It is not a comedy. You will not laugh at that.
Right.
But I was supposed to be in Sydney very, very soon to play my remix tour during the comedy, and I've busted my knee. Oh. And so we've had to reschedule that. So I'm afraid I had to go in there and do work in the knee, and so then you can't fly. Problem of DVTs, deep vein thrombosis, as they call it, and then so we just had to move it to May 18th of May. I'll be back at Sydney Opera House to do my comedy tour, my other day job, and then I'll return in June to do Hamlet. So Australia will see comedy going into drama, just like what Shakespeare did, because he went from his comedies to his dramas in his work, and I'm just following in his footsteps. So you'll see the whole panoply. If you buy 2 tickets, you can see one going to the other, and they're not the same.
Shakespeare would have been okay with the DVT because he wore the tights all the time. So,
true.
I think they all wore tights back then, and even though there was no lycra, so they must have been big, baggy, woolly tights where you could keep your shopping in as well.
How did you go? How are you going in your recovery with the knee? Because as a marathon runner, hearing that you can't run for 8 weeks or whatever it is, how's your mental health around all that?
That's okay, because I can just I can watch telly. You know, that old thing of what you wanted to do when we were kids, we just wanted to watch telly, and then in COVID, we were forced to go into that, and I'm back into that kind of situation. But I can, I do go around on the crutches, and the movement, 20 degrees of movement, so I'm going to allow the ligament to move itself back until I get full extension and full movement in the leg, and then I'll be back and doing a sword fight against myself as what happens in Hamlet. You can see how good my English is as what happens.
But you play all the roles in Hamlet, something like 23.
Yeah, well, it's about 6 or 8 main roles, so it's not that complicated. But, Sarah Snook has been there winning awards doing her solo show. Other people have been, Andrew Scott doing his solo show. A lot of people doing solo shows. So nothing particularly special on that. But it does make people, allows people to concentrate on the storytelling of Shakespeare and the words of Shakespeare as one person travels through it playing the characters, and it's something I've maybe been training my whole life to do this. And I was trained as a street performer, which is much more like the training that the actors in Shakespeare's day had. And they broke the fourth wall all the time because they didn't have this idea of a separation of characters on stage to a separation of the audience. They just would talk to them. They were traveling players, and then they came into theatres just before Hamlet was written. It's the very early days of English theatre.
And you don't play the skull though as well, surely?
Yes, well, the skull sits in my hand, and I look at it, but the audience's imagination paints it in. Just like if you were listening to a radio play on thing, and you could see all the things. Or if you read a book, your imagination sees all the different, the vistas, the mountains. You can see everything in your imagination. We've got such great imaginations that it's not a problem. And if you go to a theatre show, any theatre show will need about 30% of your imagination. I'm just asking for 35%. And if you've got no imagination, don't come.
Well, for many of us doing Shakespeare at school, the language just is so hard to wade through. I can imagine how wonderfully you'll bring it to life.
Well, this is the thing. It is Elizabethan verse, but there are also the first quarter version, the second quarter version, and the first folio version. There are different versions, and my older brother who did the editing, he is the academic of the family, and we argued long and strong with my director, Selena Cadell, over which sections, which pieces we would like to use, which pieces we'd like to drop away, so that we wanted to serve the play, make sure the play works, because it's a rewritten play. Shakespeare would always take plays that already existed and rewrite them. and make them better. So that we wanted that play to work, so the kids from 9 to 90 can come in and grab it and walk away with it. It's not We're not doing it for the elites. We're doing it. This is a designed for the people, so that your people who would come in those days. Shakespeare wasn't saying, I just want the elite to like this, and all the groundlings who stand in front of him, I want them to be bored as hell. He didn't want that. He wanted everyone to grab it. So that's what we did.
And you're going to be bringing it. So you're going to get so each of your characters, they don't have an agent as well, because that would be a lot of agents. That'd be a lot of commissions that you have to pay.
A lot of commissions, but no, it's all just me.
Right.
But me separating my characters, as I've done in comedy for many years, having come from Python-esque sketch comedy, playing different characters with different voices. You can change the voice, you can change the physicality of a performer, and their arcs in the story will be in a different place. So Selena Cadell, my director, was very good at making sure that I was in the right place for when Hamlet is really laying into Ophelia, that she is falling apart here, and he is being this brutal person, thinking this is the way he's going to survive, and not really caring a damn about what's happening to her. And she ends up, spoiler alert, not having a good time about it.
Yeah.
So,
you've wrecked the ending.
Yeah.
Thanks
Come on,
very
you ruined
much.
Shakespeare.
No, well, I said not a terribly good time. She could just, move to
Slightly unhappy.
somewhere where he doesn't have a good time.
This is going to be a great show. For tickets to and tour information, head to ticketek.com.au. It's next year in June 2026. Heal well.
Thank you very much. And anyone who's got their tickets for the remix show, I will be returning in May. Go to eddieizzard.com. The details will all be coming up in the next 24 hours, and your tickets will be honoured. So I'll be back and I'm performing everything.
That's the comedy agent's job, though. So just let them handle that, okay?
You'll just get your frequent
it's
flyer points up.
My messaging is a little confusing.
Not
but
at
it
all.
comes all in a big wash.
Not at
You'll
all.
love it.
So lovely
Suzy,
to talk
thank
to
you
you.
for joining us.
Thank you. Cheers.
See ya.